What's up, you guys? This is the lovable asshole coming to you with another video. And yes, I have the one and only, the red hair girl herself, the beautiful, the angelic, the turn up, the hood rag herself, Miss Delishous.
What's up,
Can we give
everybody?
it up for her, baby? Can we give it up for her? Look at her. Look at her. You look sick. I love that top. I love it. I love it.
Thank
Now,
you.
Delishous, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm
That's,
okay. I'm okay. I'm dealing with everything that's going on from last night's episode, but we here, so
yeah. And then, you know what? Let's go into that because, I didn't know what was going on because I don't
wait, hold on.
eat.
Before we do, my lighting look okay? I need to turn it up or down a little bit.
You can turn it down because that lighting, it makes you like bright in the face, like bright, like light. So, let me see.
A little
Yeah, that's
brighter.
perfect. If you want to put it up a little bit more, you can. But if it's too bright, let me see. Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so since we're talking about what's transpired on, this episode, let's talk about it because you were basically, in other people's words, on a apology tour, and because of your comments, for usage of the word, the N word, nigga, and many people thought that you shouldn't say the word because honestly, they probably thought you were a white girl. And I'm going to be honest myself, and I think I told you in the live, I didn't know what your nationality was. So, but I also passed by that comment because I really, honestly, hear people say it all the time. So I just bypassed that. I'll tell you what my true thing was with you coming, later on. But speak on that and how you felt. What was the reaction that you felt during all of that? Like, how did you feel? Do you think it's warranted for the backlash and everything like that?
I have to say that I'm quite shocked as much backlash as I did get for it because it's not, I don't think it has anything to do with our race. I think it's more about the culture and where I come from and where I grew up and who I've always been around. That's all that I've ever known. And I've always, considered myself like one of us, and I say one of us because I live in the Black community and I have for a very long time. I'm from the hood. I grew up there. I mean, damn near I am now out here in Atlanta. I have a nice little place, but still, I like being here in the hood and being, because that's all that I've ever known for the longest time. And it's like, it has nothing to do with oh, well, I'm not white. Yeah, I am not white. I'm not. But I don't really feel that gives me a validation to say that. It's more about the culture, that Black people's culture is my culture too, even though I am not Black. It's just that's all that I've known, and it was to get as much backlash is it was kind of surprising, but at the same time, I do feel like I am a really good person, and I try to see both sides and not just see one side or it be my side. And because I've been saying a lot today and with other people, is I could have just been a bitch and been oh, well, I don't give a fuck. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. You know what I mean? And I just also want to clarify too that I have never said it as in a derogatory way. To me, people say, oh, it's a word of endearment, and I've always kind of looked at it like that too. My boyfriend is Black, straight, Black, so it was I love saying, oh, well, this is my, I don't even want to say the word anymore, but this is my ninja. I've always be this is my ninja, you know what I mean? And I be
Yes.
happy, when I say it, I'm glad that I have a ninja, you know what I mean? And I'm glad, I'm proud that I have a Black boyfriend and that he is a straight
Ninja.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like, I love that, like, and I love it. So, I mean, to me to get so much backlash on it, it's kind of like, whoa, like, I'm very proud, and I'm sorry that if anybody took offense to it, but, you know what I mean? It just, I'm kind of just, like I said, I try to sit on the fence and just try to really see everybody's point of view. And like I said, all I can do is apologize for the offense that anybody took from it, but that's all that I've ever known for the longest time. And I do stand up for this community a lot, and I've never said the word with the E and the R, if that makes sense. I have never said that, because to me that is disrespectful. Like, that's like saying wetback, or saying like
Big.
like faggot or something, like what I mean? Like, that's horrible. Like, and I didn't want it to come across like that. And when I was saying it, I have to go back and I'm gonna rewatch it just to be real clear about what I said. I did not call Charlie or our guy that word. I was not calling them that. I was reciting lyrics from one of my songs, and I was simply trying to say that I fuck with dudes that really kill other dudes, meaning you know what I mean? Put the word instead of dude there, and that because I do, like, my man that's in prison right now did a prior for killing people, and it was really me trying to just express that you guys are sitting here and giving me all this energy, like, you could be gone in an instant, like, from the people that I know. Like, if we really want to take it there, and that's what I'm trying to say. I was kind of shocked about it, because I come from, like, gangs and stuff like that. And even then, there was black people in the gang, like, you know what I'm saying? And even though that it was, like, mostly predominantly Mexicans where I come from, but it's like, I come from that type of lifestyle and that type of, like, stuff that is, like, ninja stuff, or, like, type of, like, hood stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of, like, it kind of blindsided me a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I said, that's all that I've ever known. Like,
yeah, I hear what you're saying, and this is where I'm going to put my 2 cents, and because I love having this conversation. When I realized that you was on this apology tour, because I didn't know that you was on it, because I really don't. I just don't do the social media that much. Like, I go on lives and kiki and everything, but once I heard that you was on this apology tour, and we was on Dre Simber's live, when I heard, I was like, oh, so they really, like, going after her about that. And when I found out that you were actually of Hispanic descent, I was like, okay, so what's the problem? Because I live in Brooklyn, and I'm around Hispanics and blacks, and the only borough in New York City that has majority of Hispanics is Bronx and Brooklyn. So I hear them say the N-word, and I grew up with people of Hispanic descent to say that word. So it's normal around us that they say that word. And it's never in the context of being disrespectful.
Yeah.
So when people were giving you hell, and I was like, wait, they were giving her hell? Like, why they mad? And then the fact that people bring up Cardi B, and I'm like, wait, people didn't start attacking Cardi B for saying the word until she was famous. When she was on Instagram, they all laughed with her saying the word and everything. She was saying that word heavily on Instagram before she was really, really famous. So it's like they pick and choose, and I feel like
that's really what it is. Yeah, that's really what it is right there. You know what I mean? And I do, on one side, look at this side of the fence of it. Like, I already said I was sorry for the offense. Like, people keep saying, oh, well, you already said sorry for saying it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for saying it.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that, it's more of the offense that people took to it. Because like I said, to me, it's not about a race thing. Like, it's about the culture. Like, when you grow up in this type of culture in the hood and this type of lifestyle, like, that's just the word that you use. It's not to validate anything, but it's like going back to that side of the fence that you were talking about with Cardi B. Another example is Saweetie. She is predominantly Filipino. And she got the song Rich.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean, and
everybody singing it, like, black too. They singing it. My rich nigga, that's my type. They say so. It's like be fair all around. Don't just single-handedly pick one out of the bunch that you just want to attack. And I want to say this to you. After this, I feel like, and you don't have to take my advice. I always say this: don't apologize no more, because you keep apologizing or saying that I apologize for you taking offense. I feel like people just want to just argue or just want to have that energy with you so they can get clicks and views. And that's about it. And I feel like just being, just man and woman, I wouldn't apologize no more. I wouldn't apologize. That's just secretly me. You said your piece. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't apologize anymore. Leave it at that. So, on a side of that, got through that. Now, I'm here to tell you, and to tell you to your face, that Delishous, this one right here, the lovable asshole, do not dislike you. Because I was on your live, and I said hey to you and Sherrod, and when you said that, wait, I thought you disliked me, I was like, wait, does she really think I dislike her? I was like, no, I don't dislike you, because I would have to know you to dislike you, and I don't know you. When I do my reviews on the show, I do it for shits and giggles. When I tell you, Delishous, I'm going to be honest with you. I rolled the fuck out of you in my last review. I did. I rolled the fuck out of you. And I do it for key sessions and just pure entertainment. But do I have a real dislike for you or a hate towards you? No. Because I don't know you. And that's why I'm getting a chance to know you right now. Now, is it going to change from me dragging you if I don't see something that's good? Or, you got those claws in the confessionals? Or, because I'm going to be honest, I said it in my review, I'm not that much bigger fan of your music. But if you have like an album that you're coming out with or an EP, baby, I'm going to support. Even I don't like it, maybe I'll like another song. So just because I don't like one song doesn't mean I'm going to like the rest of your material. Because I'm fair all around. If I hear a song that is a bop, I'm going to say it's a bop. So just me to you, I don't dislike you. I actually think that you're one of the most funniest people on the show. Because, baby, that dinner scene, I would have been you. I would have been you. Because, baby, when you said that when the commotion was going on, you literally did this.
Yes, very much so.
Baby.
And see, that's another thing. And that's another thing I want to speak on that too, is like, you know what? I don't know if that was me, like, just being hood or, like, whatever, because I really get down and fight. Like, I used to. I try to change my life, and everybody see this nice side and this, like, proper and this and that. And it's like, people really don't know where I come from. And I think that's really why I got the backlash that I did with that word. But it's like me being, like, I've fought all my life and this and that. I saw that coming. And besides knowing some of the people, how they carry themselves, like, I saw that coming. So that's why I got up and I was like, you know what, enough is enough. This is going to get real crazy. That's why I was like, so I mean,
baby,
you know what
that
I mean?
was everything. When I tell you, that's the mood I was going for. Because, baby, when you are the only one to finish your food and to get the go plate, that's genius and clever in itself, baby. While everybody's food is destroyed, you are sitting out eating your food. That was real queen shit, I have to say, and I said that. But how did you feel being in that environment and the mayhem going on, and who you think brought that energy? To
the dinner?
Yeah, to the dinner.
Or to the barbecue?
To the dinner. We're going to go first. We're going to do first because we're going to get to that barbecue by the end. We're gonna get it. Matter of fact, we're gonna get to that next. But the dinner first.
The dinner. So you're saying who brought the energy?
Yeah, who brought the energy? Why was so much heat in the building?
I just think it was because, like, I've been saying that they showed, I mean, it kind of was like the whole episode. They showed like 35 to 40 minutes of just that scene. But really, we was there for a good, like, 4 hours filming. So people didn't really get to see a lot of it. Like, people was already arguing and already had problems with each other before that. So when you put all of us in a small room and we're just sitting there, we're waiting for Hakeem, we constantly have to be like, okay, film this. Okay, well, wait, do it again. Okay, do this, do that. And it's like, finally, when we got time to be like, okay, look, now we're just going to shoot the whole scene and everybody's going to talk. It's like everybody was just like, okay, blah, 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 blah. Because we had been waiting to be like, look, like, because when we film and we do that, they do a lot of B-roll, they do a lot of this and that. Oh, okay, just eat, okay, drink, do that kiki with the people that you came with, da 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 da. And it's like, okay, there already had been little things back and forth that they didn't see. And there already was animosity. So finally, when they was like, okay, now it's time to have this scene where you address people, we all talk, everybody was ready to go. Like, okay, look, bitch, they already had all their stuff in check. They had their list of what they wanted to say to people. And it was like, for me, I don't have problems with people. People have problems with me because to me, like, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And nobody has that much power over me to have a problem with you. But you back a dog into a corner long enough, and I'm going to get, that's really what people were seeing this past episode with the whole barbecue is like, people don't see what goes on behind the scenes, what leads up to that and all of that. And it's like, I finally had enough. And I was really trying to expose the fakeness what was going on. And you guys can clearly see, like, I don't care if people say, like, oh, it wasn't really that shady, this and that. Y'all was putting Brandon down for working at California Pizza Kitchen. With that, my thing was that, I was standing up for my brothers and stuff like that. And, that's really where I was kind of like, because people were just like, oh, out of nowhere, you just stood up. And it was like, because that's really how I am. I'm quiet and I'm just like, I just sit there and look cute. And I'll be like, hey girl, like, from a distance, hey, like, love, like, yeah, but I sit there and just mind my business. But when it comes to, and I feel like that's really what it was you can say whatever you want to say about me. I don't care. Like, I'm doing great things over here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going nowhere. Like, and so I want to go somewhere. I'm going to be on this platform as long as I want to, and I'm going to go to that next level, and I can do greater and bigger things, and no one's going to stop what I got going on. And I feel like that's the thing is everybody want to be in a fucking competition, and it's not a competition. And especially with this group, I am the only trans woman. Nobody is in my lane. Nobody. There is not another trans woman. Even if you were to bring another trans woman on here, like, I would support her, and she still wouldn't be in my lane because guess what? I'm a Mexican trans woman. So until you bring a Mexican trans woman that does music, that is lived what the stuff that I've been through and this and that, then maybe we can kind of talk and be like, oh, okay, look, girl, there's gonna be a competition or something, like, girl, like. But other than that, and it's never a competition. I'm only in a competition with myself, and nothing is personal. So with that, when they started coming for my brothers, though, now I'm getting upset because I'm confident and I know where I'm at. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else because the way that other people act, that is disrespectful and that's wrong to act like that. You should not, because at the end of the day, we all sit at this table. But if you really want to take it there, baby, let me tell you something. Like I said, I may not be better than you, but I have a lot of great things going on over here. And I have a lot of respect from people from the LGBT community and the Black community, being gay or straight. So with that, it was like, that's why I stood up and I was like, okay, look, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, stay in your place over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, once you start looking for my brothers, like, that's it. Like, like, you can say whatever you want to say about me. It ain't going to bother me. Like, but that's really where that came from. Like,
yeah. And you know what? And I have to say this, from the scenes of just with those, your character is pretty much ride or die to the people that you ride for. Like, you stuck up for Sherrod, you stuck up for Brandon. So your character is very much intact because of the friend that you are. And I have to commend that. And people have to commend that because if you can just sit there and let somebody disrespect the person that you love, you're no more better than that person. If you're gonna sit there and watch that happen. So I have to give you kudos for that, being a very ride or die friend and sticking up for the people that you love. So
Thank
kudos,
you.
snaps to that.
And I'm glad, I'm glad a lot of people see that, and I feel like it just kind of backs up what I say. Like, a lot of people like to act real hard and hood and this and that. You don't always have to act like that if you're really like that, because that's exactly what it is. It's an act. Where I come from, like I said, I come from gangs and from the, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was really into that, being over from the West Coast, and all of that stuff, and that's really where it comes from. They teach you is like loyalty over everything else, and that's really where that comes from, is my root of why I ride or died for them so much. Because baby, I was jumped into a gang, like literally I almost got beat to death. And that they teach you, like, you ride for your people. Like, now granted, I'm not into that lifestyle anymore, but
It's still
I
ingrained.
carry those values, and that it's instilled inside of me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I ride for them so long. And it's like, but I also carry myself with a lot of class, and I try to be the best trans woman that I can be and be nice now and this and that. But don't forget that that's still inside me, and when it comes out, West Coast Dee Dee will come out, like, you know what I mean? So
And
yeah.
baby, I don't want no parts of that because I have never been into a gang. I have never. That life is not me. That life is not for me. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
mean, it was really hard. That's what I'm trying to say. These people, like, this is reality TV, and I get it, but it's like, look, like, I'm not your enemy, but if you want to have one, like, I promise you, I will have the last say. Like, because baby, let me tell you, I've been shot at, I've been stabbed, I've had a fight for my life. Like, I mean, been through some crazy ass shit, not just with gangs, but from a point when I talked a little bit about it on this last episode. When I was homeless and I was sleeping under bridges, sleeping in bushes, fighting off crackheads. I had to do, like, I mean, people that wanted to hurt me. Like, I've really been through a lot in my life, and I'm like, that's all lays dormant in me because this is the life that I live now. But it's like, that's all still there. Like, don't fuck with me. I promise you. I'm not all of these other girls that are like, oh, girl, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Like, I don't need to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. And
yeah.
that was that point of this last scene, was it's just like, look, girl, like, when I walked up on someone, it's like, look, I promise you, I'm not going to sit here and keep, like,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not gonna, like, that's the thing too. I try to say, which they didn't put it in the episode, but I talked a lot about a lot of other shit in the confessionals. And my thing is that where I come from, if you don't know how to fight, or if you're not going to fight, you don't talk shit and you don't open your mouth and you just shut the fuck up. Like, because let me tell you something, like, this this arguing, like, I don't like doing that. Like, but if you're not gonna fight, I'm gonna make sure you feel my energy and hear my voice. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why people got up from the fucking table and walked away, because you can't handle it.
Mm-hmm. Because first of all, who want to waste their breath at the end of the day? Because you're gonna feel the way you feel, and I'm gonna feel the way I feel. So there's no talking other than that. But I want to get into your story and what what was the process into becoming the now delicious Maserati from beginning to end, just in the simplest, like, simplify it for me from young
In like a
into.
nutshell, this started, from very, very young. Like, I always loved long hair. I've always loved the long nails that I have. I don't got them on right now. I need a new set, but but I've always loved long nails when I would see them on girls. I always loved high heels, and for me, when I started doing drag about 14, and that's really when it was like I started to really live in my truth. And being kicked out at that age, all I took with me was a backpack full of my makeup, an outfit, a wig, and a heels. And that's what I took, because that's what my soul to take me. It didn't tell me to take my boy stuff. It told me to take my drag stuff at the time. And I was like, okay, so I took that. And now, a few years later, I've been doing drag. I mean, I'm performing all over the California, up and down California. Um, uh, I went to Vegas and I started performing there. Came back to California, and I got into a relationship, and I kind of put it away for a minute and focused on my boy self, and I just wasn't happy. you know, the relationship started to go sour, and at the end of it, I really started to find myself as a trans woman, because I already had found myself when I had got kicked out. I learned how to love myself. I learned how to be by myself, because I was always like, oh, I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm gonna die if I'm by myself. Like, no, you're not. Like, and that's also what I try to teach people, is that learn how to love yourself and you'll never be alone. God would not have brought you into this world if you cannot live by yourself, because you come into this world by yourself and you will leave this world by yourself. There's nothing that any of us could ever do to change that. And with that, at the end of my relationship with my boyfriend, I had done a show because I had started again. I was like, look, you're either going to be with me or you're not, but I'm going to continue to keep doing this because I miss it and I'm not happy anymore. I feel like I'm losing myself. So I remember coming home from a performance one day, and I went in the bathroom. I started taking off my makeup like I usually do. And I remember wiping off my face and looking in the mirror. And I saw my boy self, and I just started crying so badly. And I knew in that moment I needed more from Delishous, and that I wanted to be a trans woman. I wanted to be a woman. And, you know, that was my view then. When I first started transitioning, was I feel like I was meant to be a trans woman. As my transition now, where I sit now, as it goes on, you know, the hormones and my soul merged, and I found an inner peace, and my view changed, and I feel like I'm a woman born with the wrong body part. I don't feel like I was born to be a trans woman. I feel like I am a woman born in the wrong body part. And that's just my own personal view on my transition. But I love being a trans woman. And lately also too, as time goes on, I just find more and more about myself. And I also kind of got closer to God. And, you know, my destiny is to represent the Black community, trans women, the LGBT community as best as I can, because it's all that I've ever lived in. And it's like nothing will ever come in between my destiny with me and God to represent who I am as a trans woman. And that's where I am right now today. And, you know, nobody knows what tomorrow holds, but I've always just been as genuine as I can and just tried to be the best activist and stand up for, you know, who we are and what we do. And it's gotten me this far just by being me and doing these great things. I've never had to trample over anybody, drag anybody's name, be disrespectful or rude to anybody. Like, I've always just been me. Like, sorry, my battery was dying. But, you know, I've always just been me, and, you know, it's gotten me this far. So it's like that's where I am with my transition now, and that's kind of just in a nutshell from there to here. So
first of all, like, just hearing that is, because I felt some tears coming, like almost about to come down from me, because and I'm gonna say this because this is where I put my little 2 cents in. Everybody's journey is different, and I'm always the person that says that everybody's destiny is how they choose it. You can grab it, you can shovel it, you can just dump it or something, because everybody got a path. And just hearing you and hearing your story, because I was one of those people who never understood, and as a gay Black male myself, I still to this day don't understand the whole experience of being born in the wrong body. And and I'm going to be honest, I used to judge it a lot. I'm like, how can you feel like you're in the wrong body? God put you on this earth. God designed you the best of his ability, and you should be okay with that. You should be good with it. But, and as I, you know, came into myself and with coming out, it was very challenging in the beginning, and I cried a lot of tears, and I learned to accept everybody for who they are. I may not understand it, but everybody's path is different, and I feel like what's your journey is what your journey. You should fulfill it to the best of your ability, and I have to respect it. I don't have to know about it, just respect it. So just hearing you say all of that, I have immense respect for you, and I think I connected with that, and I think a young uh trans girl who is still have their male parts, who feels like that, and who is watching you right now, is basically like probably is in a room crying right now watching you in your story, because we're going to see more of your process and transition, because you're going to be taking shots, you're going to be taking hormones and everything, and we're going to see this very beautiful but heartbreaking scene of you crying on somebody. And I think and you know what, that's gonna make the viewers even more like connected with you. Fuck all this about what you can and cannot say and drama. Your story is what's gonna bring people closer to you and to see the most beautifulest, genuine person that they ever came in contact, because you share the same experience they experiencing. So just kudos to you. Kudos to you. I take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
Because I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I battled a lot with that. And I had to. God doesn't make any mistakes. And I struggle with that for the longest time, because everybody says God knows you before you even know you. God knows where you're going to be 30, 50 years from now before you even get to that stage. And it's like, okay, everything that I've been through in my life, like why, I've had so many conversations with God, and it's like, why would you bring me into this world knowing I would go through everything that I went through, that I would suffer the way that I'm suffering, that I would be unhappy, that I would be in this body, and you knew that I would not be happy, that I would be suffering the way that I am. And it's like, you know what? I had to realize that people in our community need somebody like me. And I had to, that's why I say my destiny with God was, I was put on this world to be an activist and to show people to love who you are, and to now be like, even though that I feel like I was born with the wrong body part, or I feel like I'm a woman, people need this and need what I'm giving to express. And it's like, this is my purpose here on earth, and I'm not going to fight that, and I'm just going to embrace it no matter how I feel. It's not about how I feel, it's about being there for our community and other people, and representing us and my destiny, my purpose that God has given me.
Yeah, and I feel that. And wow, I can't wait. I can't wait to see more of you. And it's just beautiful. So before you see this big man bust a tear, we're just going to move right along swiftly and professionally. Shout out to Justin J. Now let's get on this barbecue. Now, before we even get to the barbecue, now
wait, hold on 1 second. Let me grab my charger real quick. I'm sorry, because my phone's gonna die.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
Light cut out, girl. Charging the light. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, good.
I'm like, baby, when I tell you, I had a full battery not too long ago, but the way I am being blown up today and everything that's going on, that battery went shoo.
Yo, and I swear, you know what? And I think I said this, baby. I said this in my review, baby. Your DMs and followers gonna be going up because of this episode. Because baby, it was all about you. So, my next question, because we're gonna get on this barbecue, but before that, you and Charlie. So before I even asked you this question, I saw somewhere that you opened up before you even got on this show. You knew who Charlie was, and it was said that you opened up for him on your show.
So okay, so let me clarify that.
Okay.
So yes, I did know him before I got on the show, because I had a little cameo in season 1. I was on there for maybe like a minute, Now I'm one of the not a main cast member. I'm one of the main cast members. Okay,
You were
so
the first to pop up.
okay, so but with that, that's kind of how I knew him, and then from going out and doing socialite stuff, every now and then I would him out or whatever, and and this is no disrespect towards G status because I've said it before. I've said it in front of the producers and all of that. I never needed this show. This show needed me because before this, I was already performing, doing great things. That is why they brought me onto this show. I didn't come on the show because, oh, you just made the auditions. I was told in season 1, after I did that cameo, as soon as that camera's cut off, the producer was like, you will be on season 2 as a main cast member. Okay, period. So with that being said, me opening up for Charlie is a lie. I have never opened up for Charlie, ever. I'm not taking away from his artistry because I respect that. Him as a person, that's different, but I respect his artistry. But that was a complete lie. I have never opened up for Charlie. I have opened up for Keke Palmer. I have opened up for Light Skin Keisha. I have headlined other shows. I performed in damn near every gay club out here and some straight clubs. I performed in Magic City. Great things. I've performed in Las Vegas. I performed in California. I performed, you know what I mean, in Orlando. I've done really great things. And I've opened up for great people. But that is a lie for him to say that I have opened up for him a couple times or even at all. Because this is the thing about it too. There was one night where we was both performing. And the thing about it is that they were going to have him perform, and I got asked by the promoters to perform that night. The promoters brought G Status. They asked G Status to have somebody come perform. And I went and I told them, I said, okay. I said, I'm performing. And they said, oh, you're performing too? Yes, the promoters had asked me to perform. And the promoters didn't even know that I was on this platform. So that's kind of the difference. And like I said, I don't want to take away from his artistry, but there's a different type of level when you need a platform to get shows, and I'm doing it without a platform. This is just amping me up a little bit. I've been doing this. I've been making music. I've been getting shows. I've been you know what I'm saying? Come on, I didn't need any of this to get what I got. So I just wanted to clarify that up. I've never opened up for Charlie.
Okay. So that's dispelled what he said on his audition tape.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to say.
No, not audition tape, his Meet the Cast.
Yes, and that's why, you can't. I feel like, everybody just needs to. It's like opening up the blinds. It's there, you just got to look through it. You can tell, between my Meet the Cast and his Meet the Cast, you spent most of your time talking about me, hating on me, when that was supposed to be about you, baby. I didn't talk about you in mine. I talked about me and what I went through and who I am. And even when we got on the show, I don't really drag you like that. Maybe this episode, because I'm tired of it, you're only going to say so much about me. If you're going to keep on this road, I don't care. But eventually, I might give you a little something, and you couldn't handle it. And that's why, because now it's making me look like the bad guy. And then the way that they edited it, it's okay, look, I don't want to look like that. That's why I always am you know what? I ain't even going to speak on nothing. I don't care. But then when I do care and I do say something, everybody's like, oh my gosh, oh, you're so mean and you're saying this and that. Girl, get over it, girl. You can dish it, but you can't take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with a lot of these people on this platform is they want to act like that girl and shade people and da-da-da-da-da. Well, when you finally meet your match and someone says something, now you can't take it. Because like I said, none of us are better than anybody. But bitch, if you really want to go there, the real artists on this show, in that kind of spotlight that do perform, this and that is me and Charlie. So it's bitch, you finally met your match. I'm there up there with you. You know what I'm saying? You think that you're that girl because you been performing and doing that. Well, girl, me too. Hey, I'm in this bitch now. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you finally meet your match, it's kind of okay, you're intimidated by it. Because I've never had to break him down. And I've always said how you are as a person, that's one thing. But I respect your artistry because no matter how I feel about him or how he carries himself or whatever, his extraness, his outfits, his music, or whatever is contributing to the evolution and evolving our community as an LGBT community and the LGBT music industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to tear him down for that.
Mm-hmm.
How he is as a person, I mean, that's it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
that's being a real ass bitch. Like, even though we
Mm-hmm.
have problems, I respect your artistry because I do the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so because that's why I was a little confused because so many people made it seem like y'all knew each other because of a cash trip. Somebody let that slip that y'all already knew each other because of the cash trip or whatever.
Oh, well, no, the cash trip was at the very end of this season. So you guys will get to see that, but that was at the very, very end. Like, if anything, we knew each other because of all of this stuff. Like, the cash trip was...
So that's why it's a little, what's that? It's that party scene is ahead of time or is still in the right chronological order? Is in order.
What party scene?
No, Charlie's performance in the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, so I probably shouldn't say this, but everybody else has already been talking about it that's been on the cast. So that scene was shot recently, and that was supposed to be the first scene and the first night that we all had like started to meet each other. But really, that scene was very recent. That was a more recent scene. Like, if you look like, and you can kind of tell too, like, if you look at me, like how I was dressed, and then you look at me in that first scene, like, I'm wearing my real hair, my eyebrows are a lot thicker like they are now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my look is a little, because that was a recent scene, like, it was for the show, and like, you know, whatever, they try to, like, you know, some stuff happened, but I mean, it is what it is. But that's why it was kind of like awkward too. Everybody was like, oh, well, why is Delishous looking at her? Because we've already had all these problems. Like, really, I want to be like, you know what I mean? Like, like, bitch, I want to snatch you, but that's why it was awkward. Like, bitch, we was all literally, Charlie, Sherrod, and Amy, we was all just like, why, girl, like, hurry up and let's do this. Like, we don't want to be around each other. Like, we trying to sit here acting like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Like, we really like, bitch, fuck you. Like,
yeah, because I was like, okay, if this is your first time meeting, why is there already static? I'm like, did y'all already have static coming on the season? Because y'all don't know each other. Why y'all having so much animosity to it? Especially you and Charlie. I'm like, I understand about Charlie and Sherrod, but not you and. So thank you for clearing that up, because I was like, because somebody else poured that tea, and I just want to confirm it. Have you confirm it as well? But moving on. Now, we already know about the relationship or whatever. So going into this barbecue, did you already know that you was going to spill this tea or get it popping with Mr. R guy and Charlie? Did you already know that you were going to be in attendance and you were going to do that whole scene, like of you bringing stuff to the forefront and challenging them?
Yes and no. The way that it showed it, they try to make me look like I was being messy, but really it's just kind of like, okay, you know, if I talk shit, it's not going to be nothing that I wouldn't say to your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, and usually I don't talk shit about people because, like I said, you don't have that much power over me for me to be bagging on you like that, like the way Charlie and them do on me and stuff like that. Like, I must really be bothered by you guys. Must really be bothered by me, like. But that's why I don't talk shit about anybody like that. But also, like I said, where I come from, like, bitch, you better be ready to fight if you're gonna talk shit. And the thing about it is that a lot of the fakeness that's going on with this show, like, not just them, but it's like a lot of, mainly them, but it's like the fakeness that is like, okay, you're gonna talk shit, like I said, the whole like, oh, CPK, like, bitch, you're bagging on him for working there, and you're trying to save your ass because you don't want to look like the bad guy, but bitch, that's really how you are. You guys really are like that. You guys really bag on people if they don't look or seem like they're a higher up ranking in our community or in any community. Like, you know what I mean? They look at people like, so the thing about it is, it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to air out a lot of stuff, and it's like I'm trying to do it without looking too messy. But it's like if people wanted to say it was messy, then okay. But it's really like, okay, look, I had a meeting with Sherrod, Arga, and Charlie, and they was sitting here talking about you, and they was like, oh, well, Sherrod said, well, I checked Sherrod. I was like, you're not gonna do that. I don't know about them because I don't know them. They're not my friends, so I'm gonna let them say what they need to say because I need to hear it so I can go tell. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Sherrod. Like, if I hear someone saying something about you, now when it's a brother and a brother, now I put in a hard place, and it's like, okay, look, instead of me saying, oh, well, he said this about you and he said this about you, it's more of like, okay, well, why don't you guys try to work this out? And you know what I'm saying? But I don't. They're not like that with me. So it was like, okay, go ahead, say what you guys got to say. Mm-hmm. That's why I checked Sharab, but it's like with them, it's like say what you got to say. So when we went to the thing, well, guess what? We're all here. Let's air it out right now. I mean, if you guys said, why can't you just say it right here? Like, you guys have a problem with him? Like, because like I said, for me, if I really have a problem with you, we just gonna fight. We gonna fight. We gonna, and that'll be it. Like, that's how I grew up. That's what I know. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit behind your back and then talk shit behind your back and and this is like, no, like that's fake. Like, if you really have a problem with him or if you're saying all this stuff, then say what you said. Like, so that's just what it is, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can dish stuff, but they can't handle it. Like, oh, now that everything's being brought out in the open, it's like, okay, well. And then they try to say, oh, we wasn't saying nothing about you. We weren't talking about you. And it's like, clearly you guys were. Like, I don't care if it was shady or not. Like, we brought it up because Sherrod was like, you know, they was asking about what happened at the bocce. Sherrod was saying it, and Sherrod and Brandon had kind of got into it. And that's why his name was brought up, but not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and as everybody sees, I was clearly keeping an eye on Sherrod and what he was saying. Like, and that's why he said what he had to say. And I was like, okay, that's enough. Like, that be quiet. Like, you know what I'm saying? You said what you had to say. You said your piece. Like, but don't go any further than that. That's when they wanted to carry and be like, oh, CBK, oh, he works here. Da, 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 da. And that's why I kind of looked at them like, okay, keep going. You know what I mean? Like, say what you got to say. I'm listening. Like, so everybody look at that as messy. And it's just like, I look at that as being like, real. You said it, so say it. Like,
and you know what? And I'm going to be honest. I live for this shit. I live for how you did it. And I think I said it in my review. I said, baby, because I said, oh, I love a messy bitch. Stir that pot, Delishous, because I live for it. I didn't know the behind the scenes, but as a viewer, you sparked it up. You was like, oh, let me bring this to the forefront. And I was like, baby, I live for it because, baby, that was an iconic scene right there. I live for every moment of it. But let's get to this back and forth. Because, baby, you was giving Argyle and Charlie the blues. Y'all was giving each other the blues. Okay? And then this fateful comment that Mr. Charlie said to you. And he said to cut your dick off. How did you feel when what was your reaction when he said that? And do you feel like Charlie is transphobic?
I don't feel like Charlie is transphobic. If anything, I feel like he harbors his own self-consciousness in his body or within himself that he would love to be like this. Or one of us trans girls, but may not have the courage to go all the way. I mean, you're pretty much almost there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know, but as far as that, because he do live for the girls. Like, I mean, you damn near dress like one. Like, so it's just, I feel like I don't think that he's transphobic. I really feel like he was really trying to hurt my feelings, like I said in the confessionals. And that's why I was like, you really think that that's going to hurt my feelings? You were talking to a transgender woman here. Like, I have longed to have a pussy. I have longed to have a vagina. And I probably am going to get one eventually one day. You think that hurt my feelings? Like, it didn't. So in that moment, I knew, like, you were really trying to cut deep here. And I was just like, okay, like, let's be real fucking careful. Because, like I said, like, a lot of shit don't hurt my feelings. I'm a hood ass bitch. Like shit don't really like this ain't the weakest link over here, boo boo. Like you know what I'm saying? Like come on, like yeah, and the thing about it is those are very, very, very sensitive people. That's why they could dish stuff, but they cannot take it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is I'm sensitive too, but I don't talk shit about that with people. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But if I do it, I know I can take it. And that's why it was just like them both going back and forth with me. It's just like, okay, you guys don't want to fight. So if this is what you guys want to give, I'm your match for both of you. I'm enough for both of you. And that's why they both were just getting so flustered. It's like you can see it in their face. It's like, girl, what's wrong? Like I'm just sitting there like laughing, like, oh girl, like
this baby, I was living. Baby. First of all, I was living for you. You was cackling. You was cackling. I was like, Delishous is over there cackling. She's rubbing on her. She walked over to our guy. Our guy's like, that scene was ultra funny. Because, baby, you was just giving it. You was just giving. You didn't have a care in the world. I lived for every moment of it. Now, let's get to what you said. Now, and I'm going to say this. Probably going to look at my review because, baby, on that, I wasn't feeling it, Delishous. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling what you said. I'm going to be real. Because I dragged you in my review when you said what you said. Because everybody, your cast members, have said that what you stated was very false. And without saying too much, because I don't know if it's going to be spoke about in the later episodes, but I know it's in the heat of the moment, but did you feel like any remorse for saying it? Or did you look back at that scene and be like, damn, why did I say that?
I do want to say that I did feel remorse. I felt remorse, and I had apologized on another thing, saying that, you know, he shouldn't have said what he said. Mm-hmm. And I should not have said what I said, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Yes.
I'm not going to validate or clarify anything. He should not have said what he said, and I should not have said what I said. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to him, I do not feel like he was remorseful for saying it to me. I feel like he genuinely was really trying to hurt me. I feel like he was saying it, like it said in the show, when as soon as he got up, he was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said it because you're concerned about how I feel. You said that and you apologized because you're worried about your image. Mm-hmm. That's why he apologized. He didn't apologize because you could have came into my inbox and said you're sorry. Mm-hmm. You could have said anywhere else, and it's like everybody's just like, oh yeah, he said that he wants to talk to you about it. He said that he wants to apologize to you about it. Well, I haven't gotten nothing.
Oh, so he still hasn't reached out.
But the thing about it is that, you know, I was remorseful, and I said, you know what, I shouldn't have said that. And, you know, I said it because he was trying to hurt my feelings, so I was like, okay, you know what, well, I know it's going to hurt your feelings. It's like, and that's really why I had said that. But, you know, I already had said, you know, I apologized for it and all of that stuff, but I truly don't feel like he was actually remorseful to me. I feel like he was remorseful because he knew he was going to ruin his image for saying that. Because, I mean, the thing about it is saying, like, okay, there's a huge difference from you saying, girl, go cut your dick off, and me saying, oh, okay, well, I fucked you. Mm-hmm. There's a huge difference. So what if I fucked you, if I did or not? So what if you fucking paid me or not or whatever? But, bitch, for you to go and sit there and say that you cut your dick off, like, you're not sorry that you said that to me. You're sorry that you're tarnishing your name. And the thing about it is, you know what? I have to realize within my own self, like I said, nobody's better than anybody, but I have a lot of respect in this community. There's a lot of motherfuckers that respect Delishous because not only how I carry myself, what I do for our communities, the Black community, the LGBT community, the Mexican community, but I mean mostly the Black community and the LGBT community, because that's what I live in right now in this day and what I have been for most of my life. So I think what it is I forget how much power I have and how much power my words hold. And that's why a lot of the time I try not to say much, or I try not to say anything, and I just sit back, is because if I say the wrong thing, or if it comes out the wrong way, now look where we are. Now look at this problem.
Mm-hmm.
So things that I may not think that may not be that big are now blown way out of proportion because I forget who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget how powerful I am and how powerful my words are within this community, and who I am as a person and an artist, and a person part of our community. So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, it's like, that's why I'm sorry too, is because it's like, I feel like I hurt him more than he hurt me. And I am sorry for that, because the thing about it is we all need to treat each other with kindness. And I went on a different platform, and I did say, I took after that episode, I got immediately on my live, and I said, I first want to start out by apologizing to Charlie, because the reason being is, you never know what someone else is going through, and what I said could have been the last words to push him over the edge and make him go kill himself, and vice versa. That could have made me go kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know what anybody's going through, and we are all fighting our own battles that nobody knows nothing about, and we all should treat each other with kindness. And that's why I am sorry, because I knew that my words hurt him more than it hurt me. And it was simply because he called it blacked out. I had a blackout moment too. Like, I finally had enough, and it was like, okay, you try to cut. So I cut too. It's just my cut was a little bit deeper. And a little bit more powerful. Like, so I shouldn't have said that, and I apologize, and I'm sorry if that really had hurt his feelings, because I know that it did, and everybody could see it in his face that hurt that boy, and I'm very sorry, because I would have been devastated if he would have went and hurt himself or something because of what I said. So I need to really realize and remind myself how powerful my words are.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. Like Delishous said, guys, treat each other with very much kindness and respect. If you're not gonna be respectable, just part respectfully. So, the last and final question. Now, do y'all have y'all already planned for the reunion? Do we already have a set date for the reunion? No?
We don't know when it's coming. We don't know where it's going to be at. We haven't even... I'm assuming once the season gets closer to being over, we'll kind of know a little bit about it. But as of right now, no, we haven't... That's not even in the talks right now. We still focus on what's going on right now with the episode. So...
Okay, no problem. So your mind is not even on if we get the text right now, who are you going to confront? Knowing that y'all have filmed everything. Y'all filmed confessionals, right? Y'all filmed the entire season. So have y'all got the playback, or y'all didn't get the playback? They didn't show y'all clips or anything?
No, we still are filming little things here and there, but as far as the scenes with all of us together and stuff, those are done. Okay. Little confessionals here and there are still being filmed, but we're kind of just doing it play by play as we go. So
I'm not gonna ask you about the reunion, because I was gonna be like, if you're going into the reunion, who are you going to confront? Do you want to mend some relationships? And that's what I was going to ask you, if that was going to the reunion, if you were expecting a reunion. With
the reunion, I would really like to be on a better foot with some people. I'm not saying be friends or be best friends or anything, but I would like to mend certain things with certain people, because the reason being is I'm not an evil person. I'm not a hateful person. I don't want to sit here and have problems with people, or people have problems with me. If I could put a different taste in your mouth about me, I will always try to do that. There's certain people on this show going into the next season. This show would have been different and more powerful if some of us could have had relationships differently with each other. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying be best friends or friends or whatever, but it's like as far as what we all do, you know, none of us are better than anybody else, but there are some of us that are in certain places within our career at a little bit different of a level. And that's what I'm saying. Instead of putting us against each other, it would have been more powerful for us to be like this and work together and do stuff together for our community and for the show. So that's really what I want to try to do. It's not about being friends with anybody or doing, you know what I mean? Like, it's more about elevating and going to that next level, because I like what they said in one of the boys in one of the scenes. He was saying, you know, you either elevate or you evaporate. I love that. I really, really love that. So it's like, let's elevate, because eventually people are going to get tired of this fucking drama. Like, what's next? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cute. I mean, it's cute, whatever, for right now in this season, but it's like, okay,
it's like a little
what's to come? You know what I'm saying? Because if we fight next season, girl, like, let's see something different. Let's see an elevation next season. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know, I'm not saying people have to work with me. People probably never will work with me. But guess what? You would probably want to work with Delishous motherfucking Maserati. I guarantee you that. And that's what I think what it is your time. People like to tie themselves. And you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say this, but some of the producers said, you know, a lot of people want to tie their name to your name. So whether if it be good or bad, they're going to do what they can to tie your name to me. So it's like, you know, instead of having a bad thing with me tying your name to me, why don't you have something good? And let's do something positive for our communities.
Okay. So that's coming to the ending of our interview. Delishous. Thank you for replying back. And you know, because I really wanted you to know, like, I really don't dislike you. I just read you like kind of like, you know, I just read you in the episode, you know, watching the episode. I just read the fuck out of you. That's about it. But having a dislike for you, no. Trust and believe. This one over here is as lovable as possible. I'm never going to talk about your, well, fuck.
You know what? I'm gonna say.
I think I already did that.
It's okay. Look,
I didn't say it. I just did a picture. But overall.
Well, now that we've had a chance to actually, like, me and you talk, hopefully, like I said, you know, I could have put a different taste in your mouth about me. So
you know what's so crazy is that I never thought anything bad about you. You know what's so crazy? If you watch my review, I have never said anything bad about you. Like, this past episode, I thought it was just discussing with the Charlie thing. That's about it. And but overall, it was just that one song I wasn't a fan of, and I said that. And what else? And just the chorus. That's about it. But overall, I feel like you're funny. You're real as possible. You're not with the bullshit. You will call a motherfucker out, like, right then and there. You're just not for the bullshit. First of all, the fact that you have a fucking drink in your confessionals is baby is everything. You had that motherfucking Patron on standby, baby.
Okay.
So I already live for you, because I feel like you're a fucking turn up. Like, if we were out in the club together, I would have fun with you. Okay, because I'm all about a good turn up, baby. I'm all about a party, baby. I would get in that fucking bar, my big ass on a bar. Listen, I would clear all that shit, okay? So, Delishous. What's next for Delishous Maserati? Where can we see Delishous going after this experience is all over? Like, where do you see yourself investing in or attaching your name to?
I have different projects coming up. Some big things, you know, some little things. You know, some of the big things I can't really put too much emphasis on right now, because I want them to be set in stone before we move forward, and I got to make sure, you know, the coin is good. But
period.
I'm doing something with Raheem. It's a documentary. It's part of a series, but I think we're actually going to. I had to talk about with him about it. I've been wanting to do like a 2 hour movie documentary on just my life and what I do for our community and what I've been through, and really, really go more in depth into what I got going on and who we are as trans women in a community and all of that stuff. I have a lot more music coming out. Um, I have stuff coming out with my boyfriend that's in prison. I'm gonna kind of shed a light on what they have to go through and wrongful incarceration and more on Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to say. I do so much for a bunch of different communities. I just want to keep going with the activist work and this and that, because to me, like I said, I didn't come on this show to be famous or for fame or for money. And I don't do what I do for fame and fortune. I do it because it's what's right, and I love to do it, and I just am who I am. And by that, I care about respect. I don't give a fuck about fame and fortune. I want respect, because with respect comes power. And that's where a lot of people get fucked up. They think, oh, if you're famous and you got money, like you're just gonna get no, people will live for you, but that doesn't mean that they're going to respect you. And that's why people roll for me the way that they do, and I have the respect that I do because of the stuff that I do for our communities and how I carry myself. So that's just that's some more stuff that I got coming out, and yeah. So
Do you have because I know you're doing music, so do you have a project like an album, EP? Are you working on that? Are you working on any more music and everything? Do you
yeah,
have a video out for that song?
yeah,
That
I'm working on a little. I'm working on a little EP. I'm not gonna say what I'm calling it yet. But one of the songs that will be on there is the song that I just. Sorry about that. Okay, so one of the songs that is going to be on there is the song that I released last night. It's called Alone. And if you can, I have a lot of other songs on there that are on, if you really get into my music and listen to my lyrics, especially Alone, it kind of describes my story with my boyfriend, and how what we went through, and then now that is I'm waiting for him, and I love him. He'll never be alone, even though that he's without me, and all of that stuff. So my music really speaks volume. It's not just about oh, this and that, and turn to I like to actually talk about things. I have a song about my dad that had passed away that's going to come out, that'll be on my EP. So I'm trying to do.
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
It's okay, thank you. But I try to do stuff with substance, if that makes sense. So just kind of look out for that. That's what is my next big thing, is I'm gonna work on my EP, and if not, it's just gonna be a bunch of other songs I'm gonna get ready to release. So
okay, and I can't wait to review them, because I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Because baby, with music, I have an ear. So if I don't like a song, I know I'm not. I'm a reviewer with much, much honesty. And if I like a song, I'm going to say I like the song. I'll be like, this one should be the next single. So, Delicious. So, guys, this has been a great, great, great interview, Delicious. Thank you for just gracing me with your presence. You didn't have to, but just thank you for that. And I can say for sure that I walked away, and not even knowing you, I feel like you're very much genuine. You very much have a heart. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're not here for the bullshit. But I can really tell that you have a genuine heart by just by you having remorse for what you said, and giving these apologies that I don't want you to do no more. But just being remorseful, and I saw your heart, and I saw you were very beat down about it. I can say that I walked away knowing that I've always knew this, but I just confirm it right now that you're very genuine. You're very genuine. You're very sweet human being. So I have much, much respect for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so
No,
much for having
no
me.
problem, no problem. So, guys, please, I'm gonna put Delicious Maseratis all her social medias in the description below. Tell them where they can follow you at.
Instagram, Delicious Maserati, DelishOusMaserati. I have Snapchat, that's Delicious M. Um, and then, of course, any music platform is just Delicious. Delishous, Delicious. That's it.
Okay, good.
Oh, and
Thank.
YouTube. I have a YouTube too, Delicious Maserati.
So, will we see content on there? Are you doing any like YouTube videos of any behind the scenes stuff?
I have a little bit of stuff. I'm gonna have like more personal stuff. It's not so much about the show, but I
Mhm.
have like a freestyle on there. I have an interview that I kind of did for the show, but I put it on there. I talk about trans stuff and all of that. I have a mukbang with Lando King that we
Mhm.
did, and I have some more stuff
That
coming out. And
chocolate, that chocolate man, that chocolate man.
And I have stuff too coming out with It's Your Boy Candy from Love and Hip Hop and Wild and Out. Like that's one of my babies. So we're working on a lot of content together and a lot of other stuff that we have
Shout out to
planned.
J
Like,
Will Candy. Shout out to
okay,
him.
period.
Yeah. So guys, this is coming to an end of the interview. Say so. Thank you, Delicious.
Thank
We
you.
we will be in contact, okay? We will be in contact because I want you to come back and talk about what's coming up because that's not all that's coming near you. Because even though I didn't talk about it, we see you in a scuffle, and it was very big. It was very big on the news that you was in a scuffle at this bar or club or something. So I knew about it, but I didn't want to speak about it because I knew you couldn't talk. I don't know if you could talk about it just yet. But we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about that. Okay? So
Period.
bye,
Thank
Delicious. Thank you. Say bye, y'all.
you.